Welcome to Lisa's Herb School. This is the first segment of We Hope Many. My name's Lisa, and I am the Herbs and Teas Specialist here at Merz Apothecary, also affectionately known as the Tea Lady. This is my department. This is where all the magic happens. Upstairs from Merz Apothecary, which is a 148-year-old business here in Lincoln Square. I do buying and packaging and stocking of all the herbs and teas here. When I'm not doing those things, then I get to research and experiment with making blends and truly making the magic. Tea is one of those things that it's an experience. It's not just something you take, it's something you do. So tea will engage all of your senses. It forces you to take a moment, be with yourself, take time, and enjoy. You're gonna smell the tea, you're gonna watch it while it's steeping, and feel that warm cup in your hand, and it just takes you somewhere. It's a beautiful thing. I like to say that the herbs chose me. Merz was hiring for this position, which was really just packaging herbs and teas. I thought to myself, the mothership is calling me home. I didn't know a whole lot. I use herbs, I drank tea, but as I was doing it, I just got more and more into it and fascinated and started studying. And here we are. I thought I would show the folks at home how to make their very own, very simple tea blend. So for people that have never tried loose herbs or just are intimidated by all that, I just want to show you how easy it is to make your own blend at home. Think about how you want to feel. What do you want your relationship with this tea to be? If you think, I want to have a relaxing tea, or I want an after dinner tea, something like, where would you be putting this in your day? So you start there. I've decided that what a lot of people think of tea for is to be relaxing. They want something to de-stress and decompress at the end of the day, so that's what we're going to do here. So for relaxing herbs, all three of these are going to do the trick. You could choose any one of these alone for a calming tea. But to blend them, all three of these are actually in the same family. They're in the mint family, so they get along great. And that is not something that you have to think about when you're making blends, but I chose these and I was like, hey, these are all in the mint family. They're gonna get along great. So that's what we're gonna do. For the first element, I would do lemon balm. Lemon balm is not going to knock you out. This is a very mild, even mild enough for children, very relaxing, uplifting even, great calming. So lemon balm is the base, and I'm going to use my scale here. Also, you don't have to do this at home. I do this for the store because I want to make a consistent product every time. When I'm experimenting, I do that too, because if I really like what I have, I want to make sure I can repeat it. So you might want to do that too. You could also just use your cooking measuring cups and say 2 parts this and 1 part this. That's totally fine. But for our purposes today, we're using the scale, and I started with 12 grams of the lemon balm. I'm also going to write this down. Again, if we love this tea, I want to make sure that I can reproduce it. So I'm going to write this down. Then if you are using a scale, you would tear it out, level it out to 0 again. Our next part will be skull cap. Skull cap is slightly more on the knock you out side. If you wanted this to be like a sleep tea, you might want to start with this as your main component. But today we're just going to go a little more calming, a little skull cap. I'm eyeballing and measuring at the same time. I think that's good. We're at 6 grams. Clean hands. The best way to blend a tea is with your hands, because a lot of kitchen tools, the leaves are fragile and you don't want to damage the leaves at all. So your hands are the best tool. A little lift very gently with your fingertips. Take a look, it looks great. Skull cap at 6 grams. And last is the lavender. And I think a lot of people are familiar with lavender. They love it for their scents and for their personal care products, but a lot of people might not think of using lavender as a tea. And lavender is such an aromatic herb that you really want to be careful that it doesn't overpower. These little guys are small but mighty. They do have a lot of flavor. I'm just going to use, that looks good. This is 4 grams of lavender. And we'll do our little blend, blending gently. So the lavender we've blended. That's a nice even blend. You can see there's much less lavender than the other two. And then the true test, and you'll get used to doing this once you start blending your own herbs, is you want to give it a whiff. Yeah. And you can smell the balance then. And you can say at this point, maybe it needs a little more lavender. Maybe I want a little more of this. Otherwise, we are good to go. So we have steeped a little bit of our Calm Mind tea in our beautiful Smallflower mug. I'm calling it Calm Mind. I usually steep a tea for a little longer than some people would, about maybe 8 to 12 minutes in there somewhere. This one has been steeping for about 6, and that was great. Herbs are a lot more forgiving than an actual tea. Like your black and green tea, you're probably used to not steeping it too long, not too hot water. That's all true. Tea will get bitter and unpalatable. Herbs, you don't have to worry about so much. You can leave them for more time. They'll get a little stronger depending on what you've chosen, but ultimately very forgiving, and you don't have to worry about the time too much. Around 10 minutes, a couple minutes on either side is fine. Using this little tea basket, that's fantastic. You just put that down on its little saucer, and I'm going to give this little taste. If you can see this color, I don't know if you can, but it's a beautiful gold color. That's lovely, if I may say so. We did a good job. Very calming and relaxing already, and just feeling that warmth and that aroma just does the deal. I might add a little sage to this, which is also in the mint family, so it just feels like it's asking for that little roundness about it. But otherwise, these 3 that we used are really balanced, and I would keep this just the way it is. We have over 175 items here that you could start here and learn. They're inexpensive. Our staff is so knowledgeable about things. They can get you started, no problem. They'll send you home with a great combination to start with your own blend at home. If you decide to make this blend at home or another one, maybe this has inspired you to come up with your own idea, please let us know what you've done and what you think and how your experience was.